I'm trying to remember how to do this. All right, here we go.
Hello, Melissa.
Always makes me want to dance.
I am dancing.
Yeah,
I'm
me
totally
too.
dancing in my chair right now. And I'm
I love
clapping.
I love
so,
it.
how are you?
I'm doing great.
I was struggling this morning and having a little bit of a panic attack before we were
Why?
recording because I was like, I haven't read the news. I don't know what's happening. I don't have anything to say. And I forgot Isaac's lunch, taking him to school. So I had her come home and then go back. And I was like, I'm not going to have time to prepare. And then I realized, like, oh, this isn't She Podcast. This is Brilliant Observations. I can just show up and be my hilarious self.
Yeah, I think
I don't have to read anything. I don't have to be smart at all.
I think watching the news works against you. I think being
Sort of.
overprepared is not. I don't think that's. I mean, we've definitely had conversations about topical issues, and usually they get us in trouble. But it's definitely not what this is all about. This, unless you're mocking it completely.
No, not at all. So yeah, I just was like, oh yeah, it's the wrong show to be worried about. Yes.
This is joy, not stress.
Yes.
Pump it up, pump it up.
Joy.
Pump it up,
So,
pump it up.
for those of you listening, Missy was at my house this weekend. We
Woohoo.
were playing with marketing the show, etc. And then Missy left, and I gave Isaac a nap. And when he woke up, he said, "Is Missy still downstairs?" I said, "No, she had to go home." And he went, "Aw."
Did she leave the donuts?
Yeah. Well, first he said,
cute.
first he said, "Can I have a donut?" And
Yeah,
I
that
said,
sounds
"Yes."
about right.
And then he said, "Is Missy downstairs?" So it was donut first, then is my friend with the donut.
As well it should be. As well it should be. He's
Yeah,
so
I mean, he
cute.
is
I can't
3.
stand it. So cute.
I know, he is cute. He is so cute. My friend Michelle just brought him capes. Like, she ordered on Amazon capes and masks. Like silky. It's like Spider-Man, Captain America, Batman, and Superman. And he was so excited. He put it on and he was like, "Here, you be Superman. Let's be superheroes." Her run around the house. And then he tried to take it to school.
Oh.
I was like, no, I don't want it to get hurt. But I mean, I have a funny feeling because actually this runs in the family. It turns out that Scott didn't go anywhere without a cape until he was like 7. So
I
this'll
wish
be
you had told me
insane.
that before I came over this weekend.
Really, what would you have done
Yes.
differently?
There might have been some mockery. You can't do
Oh.
that till the age of 7 without being mocked as a grown up.
I mean, that's true. You have a good point.
I saw him this weekend and he was already wearing a cape, but he was not a superhero. He was a vampire. That was pretty
He's always
adorable.
a vampire. He says vampire sometimes too, and then Scott and I inevitably offer him some French fries. That's from Joe Dirt. When
cute.
Kid Rock is making fun of Joe Dirt, he goes, "Oh, you gonna cry? You want a wham burger and some French fries?" And so when he says he's a
Yeah.
vampire, I always say, "And with some French fries." I can't help myself.
And then he says, "Yes, please." And you're like, "Oh, it was a joke, dude. I don't have
And then he
anything
said,
for you."
"Mommy, I love that movie, Joe Dirt. That movie's hilarious." Just kidding. Anyway,
I hope not. I want to tell you, you just said I'm not preparing at all from current events, or I haven't seen the news, or I don't know what's
I mean,
going
I
on.
have no, but you know what I mean. Like I have
But-
to actually go out of my way to read podcasting news.
So the only oh no, none of that here. The only thing I did see is that now Oprah Winfrey is actively considering a run for the presidency
I think it should be Oprah Michelle 2020.
after the reaction to her speech last night.
Is she really? Stop it. Where did you read that? What are you saying?
It's from CNN. Two close friends say as her Golden Globe speech sets off fresh talk. I mean, she needs to get a globe and start really.
Wouldn't it be amazing? She does have the money to run.
Chisel California off of the United States, set it afloat, and run her own little continent, her own little
I
island.
mean, that could be a better idea. I would move there, though, wouldn't you? You don't want to you don't want to have a country run by Oprah.
Nope. Oops, was that my going?
Would that be worse? Could it be worse than what we have now?
No,
Let me ask you this one question.
do it.
Why would you want that job? Because no matter what you do, 50% of the country
At
hates
least,
you.
yes. Well,
And-
I think 50% of the country hates her already.
I think she doesn't know what she's getting into, truly.
Exactly.
She does not.
I mean, do you see what a president looks like after 8 years in office? How much it ages them? Could you imagine what it would do to Oprah? I mean, if Hillary got in and she was in for 8 years, it really wouldn't matter. She was like on her last leg anyhow.
That is what was on your Facebook page that made me want to kick you in the throat. So before I made a comment, all of
you, Melissa. I love you.
all of your little friends made their stupid comments to follow that stupid comment, and I said, let them be stupid. Like, let them have their
Yes.
playground and their sandbox. Slowly step away from the phone. And I did. I slowly
Right.
stepped away from that line.
My problem with that whole thing was,
Don't. You're
I understand. I'll
wrong
cut
crowd.
this out.
Okay.
I'll cut this out. But my problem with the whole thing is now she's got a book on why she lost. And I'm like, think to myself, everything was set up for you to mow them down. You had Bernie, which was a socialist. She should have walked through the party. You had to go in there
Wait, are we talking about politics now?
just real quick. And then
Jessica, you could take a nap. I'll give you 5 seconds to nap.
Thanks.
And then after she mowed Bernie down, she had the most unlikable candidate I think I've ever seen, and he beat her.
So while we're out there, you don't have to cut this out. My parents said to me, I want Elizabeth Warren to run. And I said, she is too smart. She's another wrong person. And then they begged me, because I have a tiny history with Joe Biden and working for him, to call him and ask him to run. And I said, you don't mix politics with family. You don't mix anything with my family. But leave me alone. Please don't. Just leave me alone.
Okay, back to the show.
Thank you.
So I don't think it would be the worst thing. I also think if anyone's going to run as a Democratic nominee, this is the year to do it.
Right. But
Because whoever they choose is going to have to be, charming, charismatic, and even slightly intelligent. And they will kill it. There's no way he's getting back in there again.
But could Oprah do it? But could a black woman do it?
Absolutely.
Yes, Oprah. Not
John-
any black woman.
John, would
I
you vote for Oprah?
her over
Oprah,
Trump?
I would vote for Oprah.
Absolutely. There's not many people that wouldn't vote for Oprah.
Could you
over
get your
Trump.
minions? Could you get your minions to vote for Oprah?
Of course not, because, and I know you think that I'm a Republican, but I'm not. I'm
No,
very
I'm
much
going by your comments.
I'm very
not
much
your-
independent. Listen, I just didn't like her. I didn't like her at all. Okay.
Because you believed what was told to you by uncredible sources. Is that a word? Uncredible? Discredible?
Incredible?
No,
Incredible.
definitely not incredible. What is the opposite of incredible?
Uncredible?
Okay, sources that later turned out.
Non-credible.
All right, that one, which turned out to be many different places other than what they quoted or what they cited. They're not true. I mean, they had her running in a basement of a pizza place. It's just ridiculous. I'm not even perpetuating it. Ridiculous things were written. People believe them. They escalated things to heights where they didn't belong. And because of fiction, fake news, it turned out everything turned against her. She is wildly bright. She is ridiculously smart and wildly well-versed on international matters with our country. There's no job that could have prepared her better than her previous, and still no. That's crazy to me. And I think,
Meanwhile, she still lost to Donald Trump, the carnival barker of political candidates.
I'm afraid to ask you if you voted for him.
I did not.
No, he did not.
I did not vote for her either.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't vote for either one of them. He voted for Green Party, right?
The libertarian guy. What was his name? I can't even remember his stupid name now.
Was his name John Green?
No, his name. It was the. What is Aleppo? What was
I'm done.
Gary Johnson?
I'm done.
That's
name.
it.
I'm done.
Very
We're done. So I have I'm dropping this. Anybody have an objection?
No.
Okay. In the past, I have grossed you out. Yes?
Yes.
My girlfriend called me this morning. I called her back. I couldn't get through. And for fun, I hit FaceTime and I got her on FaceTime.
Oh no.
And it's morning. We're not at our best. So we're talking. She's got some teenage girl drama really among her daughter's friends, and it's ugly. So we're talking. And not even aware of it, I lean over and I clean out my dog's eye boogies.
Stop.
And she's a listener, right? She's a listener. So she screams at me, "You're doing it! You don't even realize you're doing it!" And
You don't. You did it in front of me too.
so she freaks out, right? So she said, "Melissa, that would be like me expressing my dog's anal gland and using that serum to cure wrinkles on my face. And she did it.
No,
that was it.
Not exactly.
I felt the chum rise. I felt it rise.
You now know our pain.
I have not been grossed out by. I mean, I don't know if you've ever had a dog who had an anal gland that needed to be expressed.
I've had a cat.
The smell alone.
Those 3 words should not be used in succession. Anal gland express. That's just not something that you need to have.
It really should.
But
You're
for,
right. It's
but
so
for her to
terrible.
take it one step further and tell me she's going to use it as serum for wrinkles, it was the worst. I said, I get it. I finally get it. I don't see anything wrong with eye boogies, but I completely want to vomit now. And I'd like to apologize if I have grossed you out, because it's the worst. It's a terrible feeling. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not going to stop doing it, but I am sorry.
Just stop talking about it.
I don't know that I can. I don't know that I can. But she drove me to where you are when I do what I do. So I apologize.
I find it funny that when I was talking about the political candidates, that made you think of expressing an anal gland.
Your opinion on politics? Yes, maybe that made me think of a swollen anal gland. No, maybe.
I'm not for everybody.
Yeah.
Neither are anal glands.
Ugh, disgusting. So gross. The cat used to have that, and you always knew when she needed to have it expressed because she would start dripping anal juice on stuff, like our furniture.
How about those 2 words, anal juice?
Jesus.
It was like a little it was like pee, but darker.
Yeah, dogs do that. They sit down and they do that
put their
butt
feet
walk.
up.
Smelled
Yes.
like
They do the
hell.
butt walk.
They put their feet up.
And it
And they
smelled
dr-
like the devil.
They drag ass across your floor. Yeah, butt juice, anal juice. That's good, Jess. That's going to be
the name of
the
should
name
be the
of
title
this
of the episode.
podcast. Anal juice. We are never
Yeah.
going to get listeners.
Sounds like a
Yeah.
80s hair band name. Anal juice.
Oh my God, that's a horrible with a capital whore. Ugh, gross.
I know. It's so gross.
There are 2 ways to say that word. There's horrible and horrible, and I prefer horrible. How do you say it?
Horrible.
horrible.
Yeah, you both say it differently.
Yeah, well, I'm not from South Jersey.
I have that fat South Jersey tongue.
I'm from Maryland.
Yeah,
so
but I'm
I
a
say
Long Island girl.
horrible.
I think I don't know what Long Island did to me. I do, but I don't want to talk about it yet. Horrible. It's a horror. It's horrible.
It's a horror.
It's a
I say
horror.
horror. A horror. You say a horror?
A horror. She's not. Different show.
Yeah, that's dancing the horror. It's a horror.
Horrible.
Horrible. Wait, how do I say it's horrible? I say horrible.
No, you said horrible.
Horrible? No, I don't. That's horrible. I say horrible. It's that Maryland overstock. I say horrible. Overstock.
It's a horror. It's a horror.
I actually don't have that strong of an accent, like Maryland accent, like the Baltimore accent.
Yeah.
It's pretty terrible. I don't have that. I probably have a mix.
Is it horrible?
One of my clients called my accent East Coast Jew.
Wow.
And I was like, that's pretty accurate. It's probably a mix.
East Coast Jew. So you can range from Bangor, Maine, down to.
I think what they mean is New
Well,
York.
Bangor, Maine.
Yeah, that's exactly what they mean.
Exactly.
I'll never forget Bangor, Maine. I'll never not be able to do an accent. After meeting our friend Annie, who lives in Maine, after meeting her grandmother, I can now do a perfect accent because she said, "Oh, nice to meet you. Let me put some coffee on the pot." And I was like, "What?" And Annie was like, "Coffee on the pot."
I'm going
And I
to
was
translate for you.
Oh.
I've translated my parents' Long Island accent for people before. What? Bob Wire? That's barbed wire? Bob Wire? Who's Bob McGuire? What are you talking about?
Coffee on the pot. And I was
Pot.
like, I will be able to do that for the rest of my life. Thank you, Graham.
I do love the accents in Maine. Anywhere from Boston to Maine, I do love those accents. Meanwhile, I think going south, those accents confuse me. I don't know what to think of you. I need to know you before I give you credit for anything.
I've only just now started to be able to differentiate Carolina versus Alabama, like versus just backwoods nonsense.
See, for me, a Southern accent is very appealing, where a woman from the New England area that has a hard New England accent,
I love it.
it really knocks them down a peg or two. Like, you have to hear that. It's almost like you want to stick needles in your ears.
Yeah.
But John said it. When
Yeah.
somebody tells you that East
Needles
Coast
in your
Jew,
ear.
it's they just mean Jew. They don't really mean East Coast. They just mean Jew.
I mean, West Coast Jew sounds a little different because they're like, right, cool.
That's just West Coast.
Right.
Nobody's throwing
Right, but
Jew
it's
on
a-
the end of that. It's
No.
and I'm fine with it.
I guess
don't-
that's true.
I don't mind it. I'm fine with it, but I just now know you better. I just keep talking about me. Yep. And now I know you better.
Yep.
It's nice to know what you're dealing with what you're dealing.
Yeah.
Because people don't wear their
Anti-Semitism.
or racism or anything on a shirt. The only thing people put on shirts are resist and be kind and all these hippy dippy ones that I love so much. They don't put anti-Semitism. They don't put locker. They don't put those things. I guess they do on a t-shirt to show you who they are inside. And that's something that would be really lovely to see. It would be really lovely to see how you really feel or what's going on in your head. So I know, do I even waste my time with you? Or are you thinking in your head, Jew, 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 Jew?
Do you think the Jew is a specific accent?
I mean, it's the Yenta accent. It's the reason some people will or won't listen to our show. It's the reason. Yeah, I mean, your grandmother had it. My grandmother had it. Well, I guess hers was more Russian / Polish /
Yeah, it was more Yiddish. My grandparents spoke Yiddish.
See, I don't think it's I don't think it's a sound as much as it is the attitude. Like when you go
I
out
thought you were going to say like this, like the tone of our voices.
No, it's not the tone, it's the what you see. Like whenever I
Tell
go
us about the Jewy attitude.
Well, I can only say
Yes,
this
please.
from one thing. One thing that I have noticed is that when you go out to eat with someone from
With a
not from.
Jew, just say what you're going to say. Put
Well,
it on
okay,
a shirt, John.
someone who's Jewish, they are very particular on their food. Like the way they order is very particular. Like they like their stuff done a certain way. And when they order, it's like if you're going to have a steak, you want it well, medium, or rare. It's like I want it pink, but not too much, like about 8 minutes aside or something. It's very specific the way they order things. And it's, again, I've been out with Jessica a few times, and she does it all the time. And when I crack up when we go out to eat, and whenever she comes back, she don't like it. Whenever we get what she orders, so far we've went out to 4 times. She's
feh.
never liked it.
Feh.
Feh. Yes.
That was
I love feh.
a huge stereotypical comment that you just tossed out there as fact, which is super.
You invited it.
Yeah. Oh, hey. I said which is super. Get it out.
What was it? Which part?
But I don't think that's.
That you
I have no.
order in a.
I mean, I don't think
In a particular way?
I don't think people.
You
Jewish
think I
people,
do that because I'm Jewish?
Yeah, I
I do
find
that because I'm a pain in the ass. Not
I
because
do
I'm
that because
Jewish.
I'm a picky pain in the ass.
Well, I just seem, and you're not the only Jewish person I've been out to eat with that does the same thing. I've seen it in several things. It just makes it a stereotype. That's
Went
all.
from anal juice to John's an anti-Semite.
Oh my God, it's not true.
Of this podcast.
Oh, come on, anti-Semite.
No,
is
I
not-
don't-
ridiculous.
that's a
John,
strong
John, I do
statement.
not think you are. I do not at all think you are. But
That is a strong statement.
can I say I think New Yorkers in general order a more complicated order than outside of New York. So growing up in New York,
That's probably true.
I was
Okay.
raised with that, sauce on side kind of thing, dressing on side. How would you? I just ordered at the Chinese restaurant, and that's a Howard Stern reference. So there's that growing up, and
It
then
was so fast, I almost missed it.
and then I don't live in New York anymore. I moved to Delaware. I moved to New York City, and they don't do that. Well, I guess they do that there too. And here in Pennsylvania, it's your order. Occasionally, we'll say without onions on a salad here, but it's not a 40-minute. You're pink on the inside. Is that still mooing? Is that still or really well done? But nothing Nothing like you're describing. But I did tell you that my father was picky, a New Yorker, bless you. He was picky when he came here to eat, and he gave the waitress a hard time. And when she walked away, I threatened his life and said, look, if not for these people, your grandchildren would never eat. You do not give them a hard time. Bless you. Or else we're going to starve. So you shut your mouth and you accept it however they give it to you. Because, when you don't cook, you're really at the mercy of food service.
Very true.
Yeah.
Like the other
Very
day,
true.
we had that big storm with the ice and everything, and they all shut down. And I thought I was going
Did
to
you
starve.
worry about me? Oh, you were going to starve.
Sure. I was like, wait a minute. I haven't ordered dinner yet. How's this going to work? Well, there's no fast food. I can't drive. And there's no delivery.
What'd you
This
do?
is horrible.
Horrible. What'd you do?
Horrible.
With a capital whore.
Horrible.
I went into the cabinet and I found like a can of tuna fish, and I made a tuna fish sandwich.
No.
I
Do you
know.
have
It was
peanut butter and
horrible.
jelly at all times?
No, I don't do the peanut butter and jelly thing.
It's the best.
I hate peanut butter and jelly. It's a mush sandwich.
Oh, I love it. No, you have to get the crunchy peanut butter. It's the
No, that's
best.
fat.
It's still a mush sandwich. Now it's a mush with lumps sandwich.
I love it. I love it.
Gross.
I'd rather have cream cheese with strawberry jam.
That makes me want to vomit. That makes me feel like I'm sick because that's what my
That's
my mom
the
used to make
JCC
for
special. That's what Isaac eats every day
gross.
because he can't have peanut butter in there.
Dear listener, as there's one of you still, I do not think John is anti-Semitic. I really want you to know that. He's delightful.
No, he's not. Of course he's not.
Okay. I
He
just
is
want to make
delightful.
sure. So Stuart and I have friends who, like 8 years ago, it's really a long time ago now, said to us, oh, we're trying this new thing. We're eating one meal a day.
What?
What do you mean you're eating one meal a day?
What about the rest of the day?
What about
Snacks?
how do you function eating one meal a day? No snacks, no food, one meal a day. And I'm like, ha
Wait,
ha ha.
which meal?
Dinner. Dinner, as my father would say. Dinner.
I think I could do that.
Do you? Because I eat all freaking day. I snack
Are you
all
on
day long.
ADHD medication?
I am not.
That's why. So I am on ADHD medication, and if I take it right, I don't think I took my medicine today. Shit.
Come on.
And if I take it
Come back.
right when I wake up,
Yeah.
I take it right when I wake up, I'm not really starving. Like I'm kind of hungry around 2, but I'm not really starving until like 4. I could pretty much put off until dinner at 5. If I eat enough at that meal, I don't have to eat the rest of the night, and then I just go to bed early. I could probably do it.
I thought it was crazy.
It is crazy. I'm not. Let me not deny that it is crazy.
It's like starvation,
But I
right?
think I could do it. I mean, if I had to do it, I could.
So
think.
we went out to dinner with this couple. Dinner, it's their meal, and
Did they
Stuart-
eat like they were dying the next day?
ravenous.
Really?
No, but Stuart
I got all
said.
excited.
Stuart said, "Do you remember that ridiculous diet that you did where you were eating one meal a day?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're still doing it. It's been 8 years." I'm like, who
Really?
feels stupid? Who feels Yes, and they're still doing it. And I said, come on, snacks, right? Like a power bar somewhere in the middle of the day, 5-hour energy drink, something. No,
Wait,
nothing.
why do you like these people?
Because I do. Look, the only people who are still in my life are people I truly adore because I have zero tolerance, zero patience for
And your mother, Baracha.
and my mother. She's delightful. Yes, so I love them. I do. I just do. They knew us before kids, first dog kind of thing, and they've been good friends. One meal a day.
So I do 2.
How do you
It's
even
called intermittent
relate to
fasting.
someone?
I've done
Oh, you've just started that though. You just
Yeah.
started. How's that going?
John, I've done 2
works
today
great.
already.
No, it works out great. What I do is I eat at 12 o'clock and I eat at 4 o'clock. And it is,
I
it
could
does
totally
work.
do that.
Yeah. And what it does is because I have a problem with insulin resistance. So from what I eat all protein and vegetables. So what happens is that then the rest of the day, the body needs something to burn up. So what it does is you turn yourself from a carb or sugar burning machine to a fat burning machine. And I'm down like 25 pounds.
Holy cow, that's great.
That's
Yes.
amazing. Love hearing that. Hey, guess who else is starting a diet? Do you know our friend Jonathan Oakes?
Yes.
So Jonathan Oakes did something incredibly brave yesterday, and I was not as brave as him, but I did say I would go along with him. He posted something on Facebook that said, y'all know I'm a big guy. And he's not just big, like he's also, I want to say like you, but I think he's taller than you too, John. Like he's like, I told Jonathan, I was like, cause I'm 5'2", I was like, I'm Jonathan Oakes if you fold him in half. That's how fucking tall he is. And he goes, if we folded me in half, I'd just never leave the house. And I was like, Baracha! But anyway, he's a really tall guy, but he was like, you guys all know I'm a big guy. But I'm starting to feel my morbidity here. And even if we go slow, every Sunday I'm going to post my real weight, whether or not I've gone up or down, just to keep myself accountable. Oh, he posted it in Trivial Warfare. And I was like, wow, he posted his real weight. And I was like, shit, I don't know if I can. I started to comment and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go weigh myself. I'm going to do it. Scott was like, no, you're not. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it with him. He's so brave. I mean, it was like, I hope he doesn't mind if I say it. Maybe you could bleep it just for his privacy because it was his group, John, but it was
Okay.
pounds.
Wow.
And so I was like ready to do it. And Scott was like, you're not doing that. You are not posting your weight. I don't care where it is. It's not going to be public.
I love your
weight and
husband so
age.
much. I love your
He was
husband.
like, your weight and your age, that's not happening. Yeah, but he's so brave. And he was like, you're not that brave. You don't want, he goes, I don't care. A woman does not post her weight. He's a man. Even if he was 800 pounds, he would still be a man. He will be judged differently from you. Do not post your weight. So I said, fine. So I PM'd it to him privately,
There you go.
which I guess is fine. I'll tell you guys, but you can bleep it out.
Okay.
Do you want to know?
Sure.
Do you think you'll look at me differently?
Absolutely not.
What about you, Melissa? You might judge me because you're a
how
skinny
could
bitch.
how could I look at you differently? With
I don't know.
clear eyes, full heart, can't lose.
Actually, that's not even fair because Amy has lost enough weight to. All right. I weigh pounds
I didn't know.
Okay.
as of last night, and so he was just like, even if I go down 1 pound a week,
For the rest
we'll
of
be
my
able to-
life.
yeah, we could do it. And I was like, yeah, we could do it. And then I went out this morning and got a 24-ounce iced latte
That ain't gonna
and
help.
No.
and a bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel.
That helps. That I
The
love.
bagel's the bad part about that.
It's a little one, but yes, it's a Wawa bagel. Well, so intermittent fasting.
Yes.
So, so that's working for you. Yeah, I mean, I think I could do it. I mean, I kind of do it. It's just that the last meal of the day is at 11 because I'm starving.
Well,
That's
what
the bad
happens?
part.
What you do is you start with 3 meals, and then you start to change your diet from
9, 12,
carbohydrates. You got to start dropping your carbohydrates from complex carbohydrates, which is bread and wheat and stuff like that,
Sugar,
into
yeah.
sugar, into you start to go to a plant-based diet. So most of the thing I eat, most of what I eat is vegetables, plenty of vegetables, and a very small portion of protein with every meal. And
Awesome.
it takes
So
a little while.
hard
I'm not
to
gonna
do.
lie. Yeah, it takes a little while getting used to.
But it's also hard to like shop for that. And do you have a delivery service?
Shop right, baby.
Honestly, there's a place
Thank
right down
you.
the street here that's a produce place, and they ship everything in. So I go in there. I get a kilo of spinach, which it looks like if I got pulled over, they would probably pull me out and put me against the hood of the car because it's like this big giant brick of spinach, wrapped in a plastic bag.
I know
And-
what a kilo looks like.
Right. So it's actually, it's big, it's huge. And what I do is every day I cook up like, I don't know, 4 or 5 handfuls of that, and I throw it in eggs and I have it with lunch. And so it's a lot of that and a lot of broccoli and cauliflower and stuff like that.
Gas. Love it.
I honestly,
Can,
it was at first,
gotta
but
do the can.
Jess
Yeah.
just did that. She did the can thing.
right.
Yeah,
At first,
over the weekend.
it was pretty bad, but now it seems like everything's calmed down. I think your body gets used to it.
That's what Stuart said. And I said, but I'm like bent over in half with cramps for 2 hours and I want to get used to this
No.
just for eating healthy, just for doing the right thing.
Are you one of those people that can't pass gas?
I didn't know there was such a person that can't
Well,
pass
some
gas.
people can't.
That sounds
it seems-
amazing. Sign me up for that.
2, please. No.
That's what I want to do.
I don't know how you're
don't
doubled
wanna-
over.
I'd like to stop
I ate a
farting for the rest of my life.
big fat salad for dinner, and then Stuart started to get frisky, and I said, if you touch me, I'll explode. And I just crawled into bed because I'm hot like that. Oh my God. I have a story for you. But,
How can he
but
resist
not yet.
you?
well, it's about that. But I'm super proud of you, and I definitely want a weekly update from you because,
Okay.
and I honestly feel like weekly is not fair to do, but I want it anyway. It can be off air if you want.
Okay.
Now, something different. Outside Melissa's box. Ding! Oh, you put a ding in!
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Ethan went on a snowboard trip, and Mallory, Stuart, and I were home. The weather was, cold as a witch's tit is just a kind way of saying we couldn't even move. Walk outside, your snot freezes. So we're kind of hunkered down.
Yeah.
And Mallory's the kind of kid where if she's watching TV, a device, whatever, she's in it. She's not going to move for probably an hour or 6. So
6.
So we were in the kitchen. She's watching TV, and Stuart's getting a little frisky. And I'm like, all right. So we leave, right? She's watching TV on the big screen. We kind of go upstairs. We climb over the gates that are dog prevention gates. We go in the room. We lock the door, and the good stuff starts to happen. And Mallory or in Stuart's family,
such perfect timing.
Stuart's family, they call it slow jazz was playing, and
and then better, though.
And then I hear the doorknob, and Stuart says it's one of the dogs, and I'm like, you're an idiot. We just climbed over gates to get up here. There are no dogs here. It's Mallory. So clothes are flying. We're scrambling, and because she's there, we do not have steel doors. So if she were to shake it hard enough, that shit's opening. So we're racing around, finding articles and getting dressed. And she comes in, and she is on fire. What are you doing? And she starts screaming at us.
What the hell?
I'm in the house. She lost her shit.
What the hell? You're not allowed to be naked near her?
I don't know if she was defending me, jealous of I don't know what emotion made her so
what do you mean
angry.
Defending? She was angry at Stu?
She said, I said, we were just kissing. And she said, I heard his belt buckle.
You should just say you're lucky you didn't see anything.
She flipped out, and then she brought herself into such a frenzy. She started to cry. And Stuart,
oh my God.
Stuart said, I don't know what to do with this. She was so upset with us. It's like we deceived her, or we were deceiving her. This is her time, and I don't know what it was. So I definitely went into my bathroom.
Said, I'm in the house. Like, you've never done it with children in the house before. She wouldn't be alive if that were the case.
She said, I go to school from whatever time to whatever time. I said, what do you think goes on here when you're not here? Do you think it's just a festival?
An orgy? Yeah.
You have the wrong idea, child. Definitely the wrong idea. So she freaked out. She freaked out. And I didn't know what to do with that. So I went into my bathroom, and I got like pads and tampons, and I walked into her room, and I said, something's going on with you. When you're ready to talk about it, I'm here to listen. But for now, you might need these. And I put down, because right now she's just like a ticking time bomb waiting for her to get her period.
She still hasn't gotten it?
No.
And you think that's why she was crying?
She was so emotional, and not really appropriately emotional. So
did she know that?
Eventually.
Did she recognize
remember
that
last
was
time?
An overreaction? Yes.
Yeah, remember last time she's like, I don't know what to do. So I don't know how to get out of this mess. So I said, we're kind of in that wheelhouse right now. You might want to put this on because you could explode at any time. You're really any moment she's going to explode.
I don't think that's a very nice way to deal with her emotional outbursts, is just to be like, you're going to get your period here.
I tried to hold her and kiss her while she was clammy and cryy, and I just get away from, okay, why don't you relax and calm down, and when you're ready to talk, come back to me. And then I would check on her, but I can't. She wanted to be left alone. And then
sure, that's because you guys were
leaving her alone.
In flagrante.
Look.
Nobody wants to see or think about their parents having
Nobody.
sex.
So then go watch TV. Left you watching TV.
She heard Daddy's belt buckle. I guess she thought you were being whipped.
Well, that's what I said. Nobody's getting hurt in here. I don't want a sister. What?
What?
I don't want you to have a sister. Yeah, she's just so emotional, and
She thought you were being irresponsible. That's the problem.
She did not think I was being irresponsible. She doesn't think like that.
She thought she had the right to tell you what you can and can't do with who's in the house and during what time of day.
Well, my kids know they don't have any rights in our house, so...
That's her parenting you, which means she must think that you think you can't be responsible about it or something. I don't want a sister.
Because I don't discuss
that's her parenting you.
Because I don't discuss my birth control methods with my children. She's parenting me? Who, me? Who? What?
She is parenting you. Whether or not she has rights to do so or not is not the question. That's her parenting you, is it not?
I thought it was her having a hot meltdown. I thought it was her waiting to explode.
If that were true, why wouldn't she just be like, you guys don't love me? But she didn't say that.
I don't know how.
She said, I'm in school from this time to this time. That's when you're allowed to have sex. I'm in the house. This is not allowed.
But she did
and
say
by
it
the
through
way,
tears.
use protection.
No, she did not say you. She doesn't know anything about that. Well, I guess she does.
She said, I don't want a sister. Of course she didn't know something about it.
She knows how babies are made.
Obviously.
I said, Mallory, if we didn't do this, you wouldn't even be here. And then
that's a good point.
And then I realized I'm really just poking the bear. She's not coming from a rational place. She's coming from a wildly emotional. So to come to her, I was poking the bear. So I just slowly stepped away because I held her to stop and it wasn't happening. So I just let her go. And Stuart's like, well, that was a mood killer. You think?
Yeah.
Hands
that's going to be a long
off
time
my
before
bones.
you do that. Yeah. It'll probably be a while before you decide to be
intimate,
frisky around Mallory again.
Around her? Good
well,
Lord.
I mean, does she go to sleep before you at least?
See you in July, Daddy. The kids are going to camp. See you in June.
Really? No, I thought that was just naked in the house day.
Yeah, lots of things happen in June June and July that my kids don't need to know about.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's when all the swinger parties happen.
No.
You don't think you could be a swinger?
I do not. You know how long it took me to trust.
Do you think if you suggested swingerdom that Stuart would say no? Or do you think he would say yes?
I don't know what he would say.
What if you went to Stuart and you were like, I've decided to be polyamorous?
Like you did to your husband?
Yeah. What do you think he would say? Do you think he would be like, who do we call? Or do you think he'd be like, Melissa? No.
Knock it off.
No.
That's our answer in our house. When something stupid knock it off.
Yeah.
Hey, Melissa, knock it off.
I mean, I'm sure he's heard your stories of the India house.
He has not. He has not.
Oh, he is not?
No.
Well, that's right. Your family thinks that you're innocent and pure. Fools.
Everybody thinks that. You shut your mouth. Dear listener.
Foolish people.
Fool. I pity.
Melissa's not what she seems. She may be a doctor's wife by day.
By day.
But by night.
Stop it.
She lives in the whorehouse.
In the shadows. No,
I want that.
I would prefer that they think that I'm a superhero than, what did you just make me? A whore? No, that's not true.
Doctor's wife.
That's not
by
true.
By day, Whole House by night. That's the next sitcom coming out on ABC.
I hope not.
That's brilliant. Come on, that's brilliant writing right there. It is. All right, anyway.
I just titled the show, Anal Juice, Weight Loss, and Whorehouse.
I was happy because recently I finally got to have sex without Isaac interrupting because he gets out of bed. And it's always inevitably at the worst possible time.
Wait, how often does he interrupt? And does he know he's interrupting intimacy? Or
he does not know he's interrupting. No, of course not. No. He goes to bed in his own bed. Scott and I decide to be intimate. At some point, he's not woken up by us, but he just doesn't stay in bed all night. He gets up because it's hot or it's cold or he's thirsty or whatever, and he comes into our room and then he tries to sleep in between us. And so the last couple times before recently, it's always at the worst possible time. Imagine the worst possible time, like you know, like
I got
imagine
it.
whatever
I got
it could
it.
be.
And we heard wiggle,
It's
wiggle
terrible.
at the door, not footstep, footstep. Hi, mommy, in our face, right?
Right. We heard, "Mommy."
Oh,
and then
God.
Scott practically hid under the bed. I was like, "Yes, Isaac." I mean, he rolled off the bed and hid like he didn't exist. I was like, "Scott, he knows you're alive.
He can hear you breathing heavy right now.
It's dark. It's pitch dark. It's not like he's gonna whatever. It's ridiculous." So anyway, but finally, he stayed in bed long enough for it to not be he's like the biggest C blocker in the world, this kid.
Poor boy.
And that's even when we get an opportunity, which isn't even that often because Scott can never breathe. So it's not as if it happens every day.
Poor Scott.
I've come to figure out that based on my Fitbit, I can look at the days, and the days that I noticed that for the last 2 months, the days I've slept 7 hours, there's only been 2. The days I've slept for the last 3 weeks that have been longer than 7 hours are the days I've had sex. I just figured this out yesterday.
Oh.
All the other days I sleep 5 hours, 6 hours, 6.5 hours, 5 hours.
So it's like medicine for you. It's your Ambien.
I mean, yes.
Sexual Ambien. That's funny because you need sex to sleep and I need Ambien to have sex.
I don't. I never thought I did. But I guess I do. I just thought it was interesting, and I look back since Christmas, and I was like, "Oh, look, the one day I slept 7 hours, that's a day we had sex. The other time I slept 8 hours, that's a day we had sex. Wow, look at that. I think it might help me sleep." And he was like, "Great,
let's do it again and again."
Are you tired?
And again.
Yeah.
And again.
Yeah.
I like that.
Anyway, it's funny. I do not sleep well, though. I have not been sleeping well lately. Last night I only got 5 hours and 39 minutes. The night before, that's what I have a Fitbit for.
I know, it's
so
crazy
that I can obsess.
About
it's
how
literally
much sleep
for
you're
the
not
purpose.
getting.
Yeah. The night before was 6 hours and 11 minutes. The night before was 6:20, then 6:08, then 6:53. I'm not sleeping. And I'm going to bed, for example, the time I went to bed was 11:40 to 7:40, yet I only got 7 hours of sleep. How? 6 hours and 50 minutes. I was up in the middle of the night at 4 a.m. Ugh.
What do you do at 4 a.m.?
I either have a stomach ache or I just wake up with an idea. Like last night I had a strange dream that woke me up. I barely even dream, let's be honest. But last night I had a dream that we went on vacation with a couple, with a woman that I worked with in 2003. Just a coworker that I barely knew then. I don't know her now. It was so weird. I have no idea what it meant. You ever have that when you just dream about people that you thought had left your consciousness completely and
Yeah,
for some reason
definitely.
they haven't?
But they
What are
represent
they doing
something.
there? And it kind of
Yeah.
annoys me. What are you doing here?
They represent something in your life, either something from the time, something they brought out in you, something that they are. I don't know. You should not spend any time thinking about it because I saw your calendar this weekend and you are busy as shit. So let it go.
True.
Just
I am-
let it
I
go.
am busy.
I had a dream. Who the fuck cares? Let it go. You cannot obsess. You have too much to do.
So you saw my calendar. Yes, I know. I do have a lot to do. It's true. It's ridiculous.
And now it's a day where we're going to get an ice storm and both of our kids are getting out of school early today. And we have less time to do our crap.
So annoying. So annoying.
Have you-
so annoying.
Have
so
you
annoying.
seen
Go ahead, sorry.
have you seen the app WT forecast? What the fuck forecast?
Is that what you were? No, because Scott has showed me a different one. It was Carrot. And
Yes,
that one curses you out too.
Carrot you have to pay for.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't. Are you
Yeah,
sure?
Carrot has you pay for it. So I just
All right.
opened up
What the forecast? All right. I'm gonna download it now.
I just opened up What the Forecast and it says, "What the fuck is going on with this weather? 21 degrees and it's going to have an ice storm." Super. I mean, it's not really accurate with what's going on and what's happening.
It
doesn't
says it's accurate.
Well, it does. I mean, it just doesn't give you a breakdown of times like the Weather Channel does, but it's freaking funny and our whole family loves it. So, because when anything uses profanity, the brilliance are in. We're all about it.
Yeah, this one says, just think if this fracking snow keeps up, you may be able to sleep in tomorrow.
Which is a lovely thought, which makes everybody happy, right?
Yes.
I like their little one-liners. It makes me happy.
Wars do not make one great. This says, update the profanity settings, modify the creepy voice, and a bunch of other useful crap.
Oh, I don't even have a voice on it. I guess I usually have my phone on vibrate because I like it.
Yes.
Because I like it.
Add some stupid locations from around the world. Share your crappy weather with friends using Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Weather alerts tell you when the weather really sucks outside.
It's just a big curmudgeon who's just sitting there and telling you shitty things about the weather, and it makes me happy. It always makes me happy when somebody's more bitter than I.
Mine says, I think we're way too far from the sun. How the frack did we get here?
Okay, so mine would say, how the fuck did we get here? You have to go change your profanity settings to make it as disrespectful as... Yes, exactly. And that's the good stuff.
Profanity on.
Yes,
Voice
please.
Settings on.
I wonder why mine doesn't talk to me.
Is your thing on mute?
So the big backlash right now is, please stop the Oprah for President nonsense. That's all over Facebook.
Eddie's going to have a British accent.
Oh, I like it.
Pitch, normal, low, high. Lowest, highest, normal. I would like lowest. Now, how do I get it to talk? That would be hilarious.
It's fucking cold outside. No need to shave your legs or your bits.
Or your bits.
You hear that?
Yeah, it's because you made him British. Is that why he said bits and not...
I guess.
And not what my daughter yells at 60 seconds at the counter?
Let me see if I close it and reopen it, if it says something else.
It's as cold as ice. Thank foreigner.
It's as cold as ice. Thank foreigner.
Thank foreigner.
You're as cold as ice.
Willing to sacrifice your love?
Our love.
I don't like that voice, though. It's better in my head. That's a weird voice.
All right, well then.
Everything doesn't have to have a voice. I have a voice. Okay. Listen to my voice.
You do have a voice, and you should use it.
Subscribe to my voice, please.
All right, I'll turn it off.
Like me.
I just like when British men talk to me from my phone.
Well, that's why my car does that. We have the same car sound, right?
Yeah. Although I think mine's Australian, but it sounds British. That's what matters.
So the problem I ran into with having that is when you give commands, you kind of need to give them, if they speak in that, they listen in that too. So they understand your accent. Mm-hmm. So when you're telling my car to do something, it doesn't understand you. So I have to switch it back. My car's stupid. My car's stupid. The next thing I had to talk to you about was my dogs, and I don't want to do that anymore because I've grossed you out enough.
I believe you have. Thank you. I'm trying to think if I have anything to tell you. It's stuff when we just spoke to each other.
John, how's your grand dog?
Which one? I have two now. I have a little puppy, which her name is Ivy.
Ivy.
And she's doing good. She's like a rat terrier. She still doesn't listen very well. And we're still going, they are still going through the housebreaking portion of it. Then my other grand dog, which is a Labrador Retriever, Sugar, she's amazing. She's a really good dog.
Doggy.
It's funny because that dog should be a shortstop. Food will not hit the floor when that dog's around.
The yellow lab that you posted a picture with bacon?
It was a piece of chicken.
Oh, chicken.
Bacon.
And I was like a slow motion where you just throw it. I threw it at the dog, and the dog still caught it. And it's amazing. And then when I sent it to my daughter, whose dog it is, she wrote, "What are you feeding her?" And I went, "Chicken." She's like, "Okay." Like I was going to give the dog chocolate or something. It's so funny when your kids get to be older, all of a sudden you become a moron.
Well, which is funny because at times I think my parents are morons. So that feeds your that feeds your theory, but shouldn't. It shouldn't at all. I just think you don't know. I don't know. They have this way of raising their kids or raising their dogs. I talked to my mother the other day and she said, "We're giving our dog a pill because we don't want her to get sick while we're out." Imodium? What kind of pill are you giving your dog? Well, I don't want her to have diarrhea in the house. So you can't intermittently just give your dog half a pill or a pill. I don't know where you got your veterinary medicine degree, but that's the reason they have my sister. They adopted this dog, rescued it, and they definitely love that dog more than they love their 3 children, or at least they definitely love her more than one. But the other 2, my brother and I are definitely in contention for least favorite child, and Lily is at the top. So they treat her, she runs their house. I guess, who am I to talk? But it's upsetting because they've given her this pill all the time, and she has developed a resistance to these antibiotics. So now she's on, for the rest of her life, some meds every day because she was close to death, and she was at the vet for 3 months, or she had this terrible, we're like, is that dog still alive? Listen to me. Is that dog still alive? Because it would be much easier. Thousands and thousands of dollars later, they've created a monster. So she is still alive, and she is being treated like a princess, better than their children, by my parents. And I'm disgusted by it. I, too, have $1 million vet bills, have totally put her kids through Ivy League colleges by now, but I discover that my dog has diarrhea because they had a blowout in the front hallway, and I then have to figure out who did it because I have 3 dogs because I'm that idiot. I'd like to promise you now, dear Stuart, I will not have 3 dogs again. If something were to happen, if old age takes over or disease, I will stop at 2. Cut that out.
2 diseases?
Cut that out. 2 dogs.
Oh. Now I'm disappointed.
Absolutely not. I'm not cutting that out. That's going to be there for prosperity.
Cut that out. Yeah, it's crazy. You don't know who did what. I came home, there's a devil dog wrapper on the floor. Did I say to my son after his snowboard trip, please take any food that you have in that bag and put it high up so no dog can get it, the back of a counter, or help, please, in the pantry with the door. Okay, Mom, I got it. I only have a devil dog and a banana. I walk in the house, there's a devil dog wrapper, and one of the dogs is batting around with his paws a banana, a very bruised banana. So I have no idea what they did to it before I got home. I don't.
Oh my God.
The kids don't listen. The dogs are eating devil dogs. I don't know who did it. Stuart's yelling, "Smell their breath." That is not. I don't want to smell their breath. I don't even want to know who did it anymore. They're nightmares. So yes, I'm stopping at 2 after this. Maybe just 1. If 1 is not too depressed after having a playmate, then not having a playmate. Or maybe we'll get her a kitten and see how big her prey drive is. It's not right. It's not right. That's not right. It's evil. Don't do that. Just kidding, PETA. Just kidding. We volunteer enough. I don't need to bring more dogs home. Play that back for me.
You don't need to bring more dogs home, and I agree.
Court
and you
reporter?
should stop.
Okay. I'm in an intervention.
You need to stop bringing doggies home.
It's definitely an intervention for me.
Gross us all out and make us wanna puke.
I come up
What
with
do you
things that
think
not
of
everybody
that?
can relate to. You talk about weight loss, things everybody can relate to, and I have a dog blowout in the front foyer. But
Yeah.
it's all right. It's all right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us today. Wrap it up, slip it, rub it
Okay.
down. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Thank you guys so much for listening to Brilliant Observations. If you want to hang out with us a little bit more, you can go to twitter.com/listenbrilliant, facebook.com/listenbrilliant, and Instagram/listenbrilliant. Also, you can email us at brilliantobservations@gmail.com, and then also check out our show notes on brilliantobservations.com. Thank you guys so much for being here. Sorry if I gave you the big old bummer, the bummeroo. I was Debbie Downer today. Sorry.
No, we did great.
Thank you, Melissa.
Pleasure was mine.
And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, John. Thank
Bye.
you, John. John.
Bye.